Hey everyone, welcome back to PFW Esports here. I'm Funky Soul, the assistant coach for the Rocket League team, and today we have quite an interesting day for Rocket League Esports. We've got a doubleheader in NACE. Both of these will be best of five, so if you joined us for the first 4 weeks of our qualifier split, it is going to be different now. It's going to be a doubleheader for best of fives. Feeling nostalgic for the old days here, but it's going to be a pretty hard day for Rocket League. Two really great teams here. We got Lesley University for the first game here at 7:30. We're just preparing to get loaded in right now as I speak. And later on, I believe we are playing against ETSU. I'll confirm with you guys when we get back in there, but I believe that is the team we're playing. It's going to be a pretty intense day today. A lot of really strong teams are in our bracket, and while that's something PFW is very equipped to handle, it's pretty draining to go through two pretty intense games who are competing at kind of the top of your bracket so early on. But this is important for PFW to not even maybe win, but to be aware, be alert, and consume as much knowledge as possible, because these matches will happen again in our qualifications to hit the grand finals. But we're loading in here pretty quickly. We're about to play against Lesley Benedict University, I believe. I keep saying it again. Today's going to be a really hard day. I don't know. If you ask me to predict what's going to happen, I can't really tell you. I want to say PFW is going to win both series here, but it's going to be a nail-biter for sure. Lesley University, in my opinion, the easier of the two matches we'll be playing today, but two really strong players on their side means that PFW is going to have to develop some strategies here to navigate around the field, make sure they get the ball away from those two players, and isolate the last player. That's something that PFW is really good at doing, actually, and something they've been doing a lot recently is learning how to get better 50s on the defense so they can produce counterattacks out of their side. Defense has been one of our weak points, but that's something that they're constantly working on, constantly improving on. So the question is, will PFW Esports win this series and show us the improvement they've been doing? We'll find out here in just a few minutes.
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaping at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it, rushing through my veins. Love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now with devil, we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Let the silhouette cast upon your heart, turning every little moment into scars. Baby, it's our chance to make a start, so we can fly. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we will. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free.
Hey all, welcome back. to PFW versus Lesley University off of kickoff here. Zane gonna go ahead and get this game started here, sending it over to the blue side. Now Shrike getting that ball right over to Okajuro here. Okajuro is gonna have to get some work to get this out, but getting dunked right here by Zen Bobcat. Okajuro back onto the ball here. Little Orange gonna try and get a challenge, and he's the last one back. Gets a challenge. Now Little Orange gonna play back wall defense here. Bubble is gonna have to try and get this ball out. Okajuro yet again trying to keep that ball in. He's getting a lot of active pressure here on the field. But let's see if he can keep that up. I mean, just absolute mayhem going on in the blue corner right there. Zane, good 50. Now, can someone from PFW follow it up? Okajuro there to follow it up. Looking for a demo here. I like the physical attempt here from Okajuro, just sweeping that net, making sure that PFW has a high chance to score. Now, Shrike gets a beat around one. Not enough boost though. Double kill coming from Zen Bobcat here. He's gonna let this ball roll right into the PFW half. Zen Bobcat gets 50'd here by Okajuro. Now Bubble and Little Orange working together here on the blue side to get this ball out. Zane gets beat by Bubble. Okajuro, last one back on defense. Nice try by Shrike here. The ball needs to get out. A lot of defenders going away from the PFW side, not able to make solid contact. One by one, they whittle away here. Okajuro pinching it back to the other side. That is exactly what we don't want him to do. He is really good at pinching, just not on that half. But that tells me he's looking comfortable, and I'm happy to see that. Now, Little Orange gets a touch around one. Can he get a dunk? No, he can't. Zane denies it. Now Zen Bobcat, a free back ball here, blocked by two. Shrike and Okajuro committing here, leading to a pretty awkward defense state, I will say. Zane does get the boost here. Lesley University playing very far back. You can see their rotation here is very wide. Their third man not rotating with the players correctly, and I do believe one of these players here are a bit lower ranked than the other two, and that leads to a lot of awkward rotations where the two higher ranked players will be rotating together and that third man will be rotating far away. So Shrike getting a really nice musty dunk here is going to take complete advantage over that situation that I was telling you about. Zero boost here. The fact that the rotation is so awkward means Zen Bobcat is going to have to try and make such an awkward save because his teammate won't be able to challenge from behind. 1-0 for PFW Mastodons here. Shrike gets free possession on the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. Gets a twist flip out now. Tries to get a touch around Okajuro. Gets a block. Bubble gets bumped here by Shrike. Doesn't allude to anything for PFW. Zane trying to get a beat around one. PFW's going to have to escape that corner. Trying to get some boost here. Almost demoed. But now Shrike trying to get some offense going. But instead it's going to pass that over to Lesley University to see if they can get some offense going. Okajuro, nice try on the dunk there. Bubble passing that ball around. Be able to. Zane gets a clear around two. This is where PFW needs to score. This is where things need to happen right now. Okajuro gets a beat around one. Needs to go again. Gets demoed. Zen Bobcat playing aggressive physicality here. Zen Bobcat also playing the bubble too. He's doing a lot of work here on the field for Lesley University so far. Okajuro sending that ball. Another star player on the PFW side. Trying to get something done with that flipper set. Fortunately, will not get it. Zane gets a good bump on Zen Bobcat and Shrike, passing it over to Okajuro, but he's zeroed, which means this might be an open net for PFW. Bubble. Amazing shot there. Let's take a look at this really quick. Shrike passing it over to Okajuro, trying to get anything going, but Okajuro, a little awkward, means that Zane is going to be left back, and the ball is going to be slamming right into his face. Minute 25 seconds left here, 1-1, Lesley versus PFW. Bubble gets a pinch around one. Okajuro has to make a pretty awkward touch. Shrike trying to make sure that ball doesn't stay out mid for too long, passing it over to one of the sidewalls to make sure it gets out of harm's way. Now, little awkward on the PFW side. This is really concerning. Shrike needs to get any piece on it. Zane trying to get that going at a very tight angle. Now Bubble has full boost, has a free ball, needs to get something going. Zane gonna play off of that bubble, not really able to get much going there. Zen Bobcat gets bumped here by Zane again. Zane, a loving that physicality. Now Shrike, it's up to him to get a reset here. Zane popping that ball over. Now Zen Bobcat with 100 boost. It's his turn to make something happen here on the solo play. Tries to land on the ceiling, won't be able to. Unfortunate mechanical misplay there. Now PFW needs to get physical here. And just like that, Okojuro heeds my call. A lot of bumps, a lot of kerfuffling going on in the corners here on the Lesley University side. Now Okojuro hits that ball around one, but isn't going to have the movement available to get that ball back towards him. Now Shrike, very awkward. Someone needs to cut for him. Nice try from Zane. Now Shrike needs to stay on this ball, tries to get a one touch, gets it. Now Little Orange trying to fight against Shrike there, won't be able to. Bubble touches to one. Zen Bobcat, nice try on the freestyle. Now, not much of a scoring opportunity here unless Zane decides to slot this right in. This is going to go right into overtime for game number 1 of the best of 5. Good kickoff here for PFW. No one going for that back corner on Lesley University side means Strike is going to have a free ball here. Now, that's not something Lesley wants. Little bit of confusion here from PFW on that left ball, but they kind of figured it out right here. Zane, stay on that ball. Gets a 50. Shrike or Okojuro, one of them needs to try. Won't be able to. Bubble gets a good demo there now. Shrike trying to take that back wall position, trying to get back. Nice touch there from Shrike. Now Bubble, good save from Zane right there. Bubble coming out of nowhere to shoot that, and Zane is ready for it. Zane back on an awkward situation on defense. He needs to jump for this. Now Shrike, 100 boost here, but isn't it enough? Little Orange. Oh, Shrike, amazing save there. Such an awkward situation in a 1v2, and he makes it out alive. He gives PFW another chance at this overtime. Zane, good defense here. They need to get this ball out right now. They need a second touch. Their defense, or their saves are not enough. We need clears just like that. Shrike passing it over into the corner. Now, Okojuro slots that into the top right. Was a bit of an own goal in the top right, will not lie, but such a powerful shot coming from Okojuro, slapping that right into Bubble's face. There's not much you can do unless he had just a little bit more boost. With that, game 1 goes to PFW 2-1. The nail biter for sure. Like I said, this is going to be a nail biter day. A lot of these games are going to be pretty close. So in just a few seconds, we'll get into game 2 and we'll see how it goes this time. Welcome back to game number 2 here against Lesley University. Zen Bobcat has a free back wall touch here. He's going to send that over to the corner. Okojuro, pretty chaotic 50 that are coming out from him. Now Shrike is going to have to take advantage of this play. Nice try on the 50 there. He's going to pass that back into Okojuro's hands though, so perfectly okay. Zane gets a touch around 1. Now Zen Bobcat is going to have a pretty free clear out of there. Now Shrike gets one touch, needs to stay on this ball, gets a good block on a Bubble, but is it going to amount to much here? Depends on these next 2 50s that are going to come out from PFW. Good touch there from Okojuro. Unfortunately, Shrike not in the best position to play off of it. I'm not sure that's what it was drawn up there. Bubble, amazing double tap. Let's take a look at this really quickly together here. Shrike having to salvage that play there is going to pass that over to Bubble and isn't able to make contact onto the back wall, leaving Zane pretty unsure where to even save that ball. A double tap, you know, it can be scored from anywhere. Very hard to save that in that position. 1-0 for Lesley. Okojuro, good touch. Now, both players here on the left wall, they need to get something done. Okojuro gets a touch in round 1. Can Shrike get that in? No, he can't. Now Zane, it's up to him to make sure this ball is in good hands. Good touch there from Zane, but that 50 is going to be a little scary. Okojuro, nice try there, leaving Shrike in a pretty horrible position. We can see here that good touch from Zen Bobcat, but Okojuro puts a little too much power and not enough accuracy into his 50 there. Just wasn't really predicting where that ball could go. and goes for any touch, leaving Strike in a pretty awkward situation. 2-0 for PFW Mastodons. PFW needs to clean up their defense here, needs to get something going. Their offense, it looks good, but you can't have much offense if you don't have good defense too. They need to find a way to get counterattacks going because their entire strategy depends on fully assaulting Lesley University here at all times, making sure they catch out that third man who's lurking a little too far back. Zane, good touch off the back wall. Nice try from Okochoro. Very hard to play that kind of shot when you know that there's a chance they can hit it. Playing the miss, very difficult. Nice try from Okochoro there. Zane, another back wall touch. I'm liking the back wall offense here from PFW. That's exactly where you're going to hit the ball there when no player is sitting on that back wall. Just make sure they drain their boost trying to save that ball while you amass energy in their boost. Zane gets a good touch, but not enough to keep it in. Okonjura's going to have to fight here to get that in. Now, Lil Orange passing it over to, unfortunately, nobody for Lesley University here. Zen Bobcat trying to keep it in too, but Zane going to just take that over, pass it over to Okonjura. Now Zen Bobcat trying to keep something going here. This might get denied by Strike here. Good 50 from him. Now Okonjura is going to pass that over. Lil Orange, very awkward here. I'm loving the physicality coming from Okonjura right now. Now Zane, nice try on the shot there. Very tight angle. It might be better that he missed there. That's going to make a very awkward situation happen for Lesley University. They won't be able to get this out. Okonjura, great bump there. Shrike, nice air dribble there. You can see how the two players here are working perfectly together. They know that Shrike is not going to be able to pass this ball, so Okonjura is going to pass over one defender. And just so much happening in that side. I think that was just a bit of an own goal there. Nice dunk there from Shrike. 1-2 for PFW Mastodons. Very awkward situation here. Good squishy save from Zen Bobcat, but this is just going to be completely free possession for Okonjura. The question is, can he get this out in a threatening manner? Bubble says no, he can't. Now Shrike going to go for a sidewall skim here, the signature shot as you call it here. Zane going to try and follow that up. Unfortunately, won't be able to. Now no back wall on PFW's side. This is going to cause such a confusing situation. Unfortunate touch from Lil Orange is going to mean this is going back to their half. That's not what they wanted here at all. Almost a complete free open net on that back wall. And now all of a sudden, they're playing such intense defense right now. Shrike going to just try and slot that in. Won't be able to. Now Zane, good third man positioning there. Going to try and keep this in. Going to keep on adding pressure. Now Okonjura, pretty awkward play here. Gets a good touch on Zane. Needs to follow up. Won't be able to. A little too slow for that touch. Shrike gets a decent touch. Going to drain the boost from Lesley University. They know they're low. Question is, how can they play the situation here to get a goal? Minute 15 left on the clock here. This is where it matters. Bubble keeping this ball going. Now they need to get this out of their half. If PFW wants a chance at winning this next match, they need to get this ball out of their half and keep it on the blue side. For 1 minute, they have a chance. Can they take it? Shrike trying again for a second chance here. Okonjura gonna go ahead and receive that play. Now Zane needs to get a save here, but unfortunately just isn't in the right position. A completely open net for PFW, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Zane still following a play that he isn't going to be able to reach. Strike way too low to reach that ball. Very unfortunate position there for PFW Esports, leaving them 1-3 against Lesley University here in game number 2. Unfortunate 50 here on the kickoff means 4-1 for Lesley University here. Bit of an aggressive kickoff. Doesn't go as planned for PFW. 42 seconds left on the clock. What was once a close game just a couple of seconds ago is quickly slipping by right through PFW's fingers. Zane, good bang. Now Zen Bobcat gonna have to try and get something going here. Gets a good double touch there now. Good touch from Zane. Can he get another one? He'll be able to. 26 seconds left on the clock. Time is ticking for PFW. With each second that passes, there's a less chance of this game going into their hands. A 3-goal deficit means that PFW will be buried here. And in game number 2, they will be 1-1 in the series. With 5 seconds remaining, there's no chance PFW goes down in game number 2 against Lesley University. A very unfortunate game on the defense. Offense-wise, they didn't really catch up too well. They weren't finding each other properly. They weren't really working with each other. Even their individual touches just didn't feel that good. And they kind of placed these balls in these really awkward situations where they weren't able to follow it up. There was no second touch on that defense or that offense. They weren't able to stick onto that play. There was a couple moments of brilliance there. I love the physicality. I love the teamwork on that physicality. It seems that when they find the position to get physical, everyone's on the same page. But that's not happening enough. And that's because on the defense, they're not able to find or generate enough advantages to get out on their own terms. Let's see if game number 3, they can identify that issue and hopefully get game number 3 in their hands. We'll see you soon. Welcome back here to game number 3. Zane, good touch around 1. That's not going to be a goal for PFW, unfortunately, but that's the right idea. Loving that offense there from both Zane and Shrike here. Now, Shrike should be a decently okay ball. Gonna give that over to Zen Bobcat. Unfortunately, it was a tough read for him. Would get dunked there if he goes for it, so good idea not to. But such a slow, awkward shot means that the back wall defender here, Shrike, isn't going to go for it. I would prefer if Okajuro is the one to challenge that ball. Let Shrike play the high there from what happens next. Just not communicated properly at all. That needs to be identified by both the player on the back wall and on the ground. Seems like they're not on the same page here. They need to fix this quickly. Defense being their biggest problem here. They need to figure out how they can fix it. Shrike gonna try and get this ball into the blue net. It's just not gonna happen here. Lesley University cleaning up their mistakes from game number 1, and they're proving to be quite a formidable foe. Decent touch there from Zane, but it's gonna cost a double commit. Oh, nice try in the bottom right. Now PFW scrambling back here. Okajuro gets a decent dunk, but again, this isn't going to go in PFW's hands very well. But I just may have lied to you. Zane gets a perfect beat, and Okajuro, nice try, but gets that on the front post there instead of in the net. Very awkward angle. And now Bubble gets a touch around 1. Zen Bobcat playing the 50. Now Shrike making a pretty awkward save. Good clear here from Zane. Now, can Okajuro score? No, he can't. Shrike getting the ball in a pretty awkward situation for Lesley University. Really good idea there. But was it enough to get them out of this position? Okajuro gonna have to play this touch, but it's not very easy to read here. Now Zane gonna have to play that great 50 coming from him, sending that back into the corner where it's the safest. Now, PFW Mastodons struggling against Lesley University's offense. Nice fake there from Shrike. Unfortunately, won't go, and they read it perfectly here. Now Zane turning on this ball, a little awkward here. So now Okajuro, he's gonna have to go, gets the 50. I'm liking the low 50 there, keeping it close to him, staying on that ball. Now Zane trying to get something going here, but just a little too close and a little too fast to that play. Okajuro. Good touch. Now can little orange beat? No, he can't. Shrike staying on that ball. Nice try in the reset there. Unfortunately, won't be able to get it. Now Zane. Nice try. Bubble staying on that ball. Good touch there from Shrike, but now Zane. Good stretch from him. Getting that ball back onto the wall here. A little bit of an unfortunate touch here from Shrike. This is going to leave PFW in a pretty awkward situation. Bubble won't be able to make contact here. Now it's up to Zane. Zane, good defense here. Now Shrike needs to get a touch. Oh, unfortunately, Okajuro does go for that. Not sure if any of them planned for that. Communication seeming to be an issue here on the PFW half. Zen, Bobcat, and Lil Orange here going together. I think that was miscommunication on their half too. Good 50s here. Now Zane needs to keep this play going. Gets eliminated by Zen Bobcat. Shrike, good pinch there. Bubble staying on this play. Not much is going to happen here for Lesley University. Zane proving my point here. Sending that over. Now Zen Bobcat, nice try on the skim. Good shot here, top right from Zane. That's an amazing shot here. Let's take a look at what happened. Okachiro, good touch onto the right wall, passing it over to him. A bit of a double commit there, but Little Orange just slightly too slow. And Zane finds the perfect pixel to thread the needle through. 1-1, minute 32 seconds left here on the clock. Is this another goal for PFW? It is! 2-1, 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. PFW with the lead in game number 3. They need to hold on for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Can they do it? They need to fix their communication. They need to stop panicking. They need to slow things down. They need to play on their own terms, but you can see right now that these 50s are looking a little awkward. Little Orange not able to score that net. Now Okachiro here next. It's just a completely wide open net for PFW. Not even sure what entirely has happened here. Just unfortunate plays here. Not able to get a good piece on the ball. Not able to put your card's mass behind any of those touches. Just barely slipping away from you. Not a good circumstance here. Minute 15 left on the clock. 2-2, which should have been a strong lead, was quickly lost on the kickoff here. Now PFW trying to make it back. Trying to make sure that they can get some offense going here. Because remember, this is a best of 5. They need to do this again and again and again and again. They have to make sure they procure a formula here that will work for them again and again. They need an algorithm, but you can see Lesley University's algorithm's working better right now. Demo after demo, high ball after high ball, dismantling the PFW defense one by one. Little Orange beat over 2. Now pre-jumping from Lesley University, not able to make contact there, but you can see the comfort on their offense right now. Little Orange just slotting at bottom right. Where is the defense? PFW Mastodons from a 2-1 lead drops down to 3-2. Just such an awkward position. No commitment on the defense there. Not sure who's supposed to be where. Sitting right in the middle of the net. Not good defense at all. Now, 3-2 is a winnable situation. So Insane just proves that right now. 3-3, 20 seconds left on the clock. Slots that in top left. Let's take a look at this once again. Gets a shot just around one. Zen Bobcat, not sure where to defend that. Goes a little too fast. And Zane just hugs right around the ball. Gets it in perfectly. 3-3. They need to hold on. They need to get into overtime, or better yet, score right now. If PFW wants to win this right now, Shrike gets a ball onto the back wall. Now Okachiro, can he go? He can't. Bubble denies it. Zen Bobcat tries to get a touch around. Good demo. Shrike needs to get a bang out onto the back wall. Zen Bobcat is going to try and block that. Good touch there from Zane. Good attempt here. Now Bubble with free possession on the ball. It's going to send this into overtime. 3-3. 0 seconds. Let's see how long this overtime is going to last. It's been a little inconsistent here. Okachiro trying to make this end pretty quickly. Won't be able to make contact there on the shot. That's okay. Shrike trying to keep possession onto this. Gets a touch around one. Needs to stay onto the ball. Needs to play this 50. Gets a good 50. Now someone behind PFW needs to go here. Zane is going to take that charge. Good dunk there. Now Okachiro needs to be on the left wall. He is. Good offensive pressure here. Shrike playing the catch, needs to keep going here. Now Zane needs to play the second man perfectly here. Zen Bobcat, nice try. Now passing it over to a third man here. Okachiro, great positioning. This ball going side to side right now. No longer. Little Orange says no, but can Shrike send this back into the blue half. Bubble, good block there. No, Zane, good save. A very precarious situation though. Okachiro needs to get this ball out right now. Zane trying to make contact. Bottom left cheddar for Zane. What an amazing game from Zane right now. I think that was 3 shots for him, 3 goals. What an amazing performance. When they needed him most, he arrived. That game right there, that is Zane's game through and through. Every shot that needed to be scored, he did it. Amazing hat trick coming out of Zane here, but a very, very concerning game here for PFW in general. You can tell that they're awkward on defense. They're not able to communicate properly, but they are at match point right now. The question is, are they able to use whatever knowledge they gained from these past 3 games and use it to play against him in this next game. Lesley University looking better and better right now, looking more and more comfortable. Well, PFW is looking a bit more frantic as time goes on. They need to keep it calm. We're loading in straight into game number 4 here. Match point for PFW. Can they take it? Let's take a look. Good kickoff coming from Lesley University here. Zane gonna have to make an awkward touch. Gets it around Zen Bobcat. Exactly what we see. Great fakes coming from Okajiro, meaning that Lesley University is gonna be dismantled and what looks like almost an open net. Not quite. Looking for demo on Zen Bobcat. Nice try, Shrike. Now taking the mid left here. He's gonna have to maybe pass this ball over to Zane instead. Now Zane. Good back wall offense here coming from PFW. I said this in game 2 as well, I'm pretty sure. The back wall offense is working really well. You want to drain these players of their boost. You want to make sure that if they aren't occupying that back wall space, which they never really are, you want to force them to be in those positions. Zane is going to be beat around here, and Okajiro, 0 boost here, trying to make a save, but just not great positioning as third man. Not sure what Zen Bobcat was capable of doing there. Zane puts himself in an awkward situation. Okajiro not able to stretch for it. 1-0, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock here. Now, Okajiro taking that boost, needs to play a 50 here, gets a decent 50, needs to keep going here though. Good 50 yet again, needs to play those low 50s. That's something we've been talking about as a team, playing low 50s to generate an offense here on our half. Shrike, good pressure there, making them very awkward because they have the dodge Shrike there. They have to make sure that he's not physical. Nice try on the top left, gets a bottom right. Amazing placement from Shrike. You can see how these players are working together here. Shrike, even on 0 boost, just driving around is causing enough of a situation where Okajiro is able to get a free shot onto target, and Shrike just able to finish it after that. That's what pressure looks like. 1-1 PFW. Zen Bobcat here with a free ball. Zane, nice try on the challenge there. Now Shrike getting in the way. Needs to maybe keep going here with a teammate. Goes behind instead. Now Bubble. Good 50 by him. Zen Bobcat won't be able to make contact there. A lot of mistakes on the Lesley University side, but this one mistake from PFW, which is going to send the ball right back into the corner, may have almost been worse. Good open goal here from PFW Mastodons. A completely wide open net out of nowhere. I wasn't even sure this was going to happen, but you can see a little orange there, not facing the right way, unable to really half flip into position quickly enough. Means that this net, which really shouldn't be an open goal here, is 2-1. 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. Can PFW take it? No, they cannot. They cannot keep that lead. Very aggressive sheet there is going to cause them to give up a goal here. You can see that actually it was a fake. I kind of missed that there on the kickoff, but they're going for a fake and letting that aggressive sheet play, and the sheet right behind them isn't able to deflect that ball very quickly. Good demo there from Shrike. Now, Bubble does get eliminated here from Okajiro, but not without a good clear. Good physicality from PFW. This might be another goal here. If not, this is a great position to be in. A lot of bumps, a lot of physicality coming from Okajiro here. Take a close look at him. Good 50 there. Now, someone from PFW needs to keep this offense going. Right now, someone needs to call a cut. Zane is going to be the one to do it. It's going to be a bottom right there from Zane. Good 50. You need to be dunking that player as soon as possible. You need to make sure you call the shots here. Zane, realizing that Shrike won't be the one to do it, so he's going to call it and do it himself. Good goal. 2-3 for PFW Mastodons. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left on the clock. A little bit over half of the game remaining. Zane, nice try on the touch there. A lot of fighting in the corners happening this entire series. PFW just scraping by on these fights. Now, bit of a double commit coming from PFW, but seems like they survive. Bit of an awkward touch here from Shrike means that Okajiro's going to have to play the save, and he does that perfectly fine. But now, how do you get out of this position? How do you coordinate this? Zane, perfect backball positioning there. Gets that ball right out exactly where I want him to be. Now, good dunk there from Okajiro. Now, someone else is going to have to play with this ball. It's going to be Shrike here. Very low boost on the PFW side. They need to find boost here. Okajiro with that 100. Now, Zane with another 100. Shrike going to be left alone here with low boost, but is it going to matter? It depends on these next two touches that come out. Okajiro passing that ball over to someone else. Shrike there to receive on 0 boost. Perfect positioning, perfect communication there. The intent is there. Now, Okajiro, nice try on the touch, but unfortunately just panics, and it's going to cause such an awkward situation on the defense because he didn't get that one touch. Shrike trying to just lob that ball away, but it's going to bounce right back into Zen Bobcat's hands. 3-3, minute and 38 seconds remaining. Nice kickoff there. Good 50s here from Okajiro, low boost, but look at how much pressure they're generating on the blue half. Shrike, good 50. Okajiro trying to pass it over to the mid. Zane not able to reach that ball. Wasn't sure where that ball was going to go. Not sure if that was communicated properly or not. No, Shrike gets a good block. Zane going to have to be the next one to pass that over. Low orange gets 50'd here. Very awkward situation for PFW in this next minute. Lesley University's offense prevailing right now. Zane gets that over, gets the boost. This might be a good transition here for PFW into some solid offense. Good shot there. Now can Shrike finish it. Gets a touch high. He's going to fake it. Now Zane needs to slot the top right. What an amazing shot. Again, look at this play. Shrike touching that high. I say this again and again. If you don't have players on the back wall, they are going to have to use boost to get to that ball. Zane, perfect positioning there. Gets the ball. Top right shatter. 4-3. With 40 seconds remaining. Good kickoff here from Lesley University. Gets a perfect possession here. Now, Zane and Okajiro working together. Make sure this ball stays on the blue half for 30 seconds here. Shrike left in a pretty awkward situation. 30 boosts left. I'm not feeling too comfortable about this defense right now. Not in a great position. Not a lot of boost. Shrike does get that boost, but will it matter? But it's completely dependent on this next touch here. Zane gets out over to the wall. 12 seconds remaining here. Shrike gets a decent block. Okajiro left alone on defense. Low orange, a little slow to the ball there. Now gets a good pinch. Okajiro needs to keep this ball away from the orange half. Zane is going to look for the game ender. Now Bubble gonna take this boost. He's gonna Bubble. He's just gonna try his best Diaz impression. Not gonna able to get a good touch here. Shrike taking the series here, putting the ball down 4-3. Like I said, absolute nail biter day today. 1-4 for for Lesley, the furthest series. Everything else pretty much just a 1 goal differential there. Very close. A lot of mistakes, but a lot of great plays too. We're seeing so much offense, and Zane, in my opinion, the MVP of the series, at least on the offensive half, able to just be in the right positions to score those shots where it felt like we really didn't have much offensive pressure. He showed up and knocked a lot of those balls right where they needed to be. Perfect on the offense part, but the question is, can they fix their defense? Can they fix their communications? They have one more series to go, and this series is going to be more difficult for PFW. The question is, in these next few minutes that they have, will they be able to recover? We'll see you soon here as we get more information on when this next match will be played. We'll see you then.